Durag Wisdom, Earth date Y2K 17.06.16. And still trying to get through this death in the family thing. Life and death. If only we all really understood just how all of us at all times in our life are standing on the precipice. I'm laughing because instead of us comforting one another, we do everything we can to hurt one another. And you know, since this shooter at the Republican baseball, the GOP baseball practice they were going to have with the Democrats, a baseball game, where Representative Scalise was shot. And I remind you, he's a gun advocate. And this creep traitor Trump, gets on with some conciliatory statements of, you know, like how terrible such a thing would happen. We have to have unity, blah, 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 blah. Of course, people are congratulating this creep because they're defining deviancy down. Anytime this creep traitor Trump shows any kind of compassion or human dignity or humanity, they go, oh, yeah. Even Steve Colbert thanked him last night on the... he doesn't usually give him a pass, but, you know, last night he did. But now today, he came out with more tweets, and more of these right-wing scumbags are coming out with how violent we liberals are, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we're not the one that ran a Democratic candidate that said stuff like they could grab female genitalia, or in her case, male genitalia she could grab. Didn't talk about beating up demonstrators at her rallies. Didn't call Mexicans rapists. Didn't. I mean, there wasn't anybody at her demonstrations that were made fun of because they were handicapped, or what do you call it? The correct term now is mentally or physically challenged. This is like the following day they wake up and come to their senses again and understand they're still the creeps that they always are. I still feel bad for this guy, Scalise, and I think his aide, and also the heroic Capitol Police who jumped in. I'm sure that these GOP maggots, would, if they had an opportunity, would undercut them every step of the way, especially Jeff Sessions, who had the nerve when he was testifying to say he's given 35 years of honorable service. What honorable service means, disenfranchising people of color from voting. People take the language and they use it and abuse it. That's why I love Orwell so much. He tries to teach us how to use the language so we don't abuse it. Because, you know, in 1984, part of the way they control you is the use and abuse of the language. So they're blaming the liberals for the violence. The violent liberals. You know I wear the F Trump shirt, right? And I live on Staten Island, and I live among very, very fanatic Trump supporters. I've been wearing that shirt and the shirts because I have 5 of them. I wear them as many places, many ways as I can. I wear it. And most of the time people walk up to me, they want to take pictures with me, they want to, you know, they give me a good, you know, fist bump thing. I love your shirt. But I always have in my mind, one of these days I'm going to run into someone who's not going to like my shirt. And I could be beaten, stabbed, shot, pushed in front of a train, but I don't stand near the edge there. Have something thrown at me. I mean, the other day I was walking down the street from my house going shopping and someone drove by. Fuck you! And I turned around, fuck you, motherfucker! See what I mean? I said that. That was just a little hint, like a foreshadow. Sometimes I think cowardly me ending up being a martyr for the cause of freedom in this country, being like killed, murdered by one of these fanatics, these 700,000 creeps that are in this country, the 35% that constantly support Trump and his other fascists. I blame this creep president for the situation we're in, for this violence, for this anger. He sets the tone for the rest of the nation. I pity any child, young person who's going to school now, with the role model being this thug, this naked ape, traitor, birther, bastard Trump, and just enabling the bullies around us. And I've had my fill of bullies throughout my entire life. You think you're going to be through with the bullies once you leave the playground? No way. They're all over. They go for the rest of your life. And you have to constantly stand up to them. And here he is again, the bully again. Encouraging violence like he did at all his rallies. Throw him out, get him out, punch him. Remember the black man who had an elbow in his face by that cracker? Oh, I'd like to smack. I keep thinking, I see that like it was yesterday. I'd like to knock that creep's cowboy hat off and stomp him down. Stomp him. Right? Elbows. And the guy wasn't even looking. He elbows him. How about that black lady who was surrounded by all these white crackers? You see, I can say that because I got white skin. Surrounded this poor woman, pushing her, shoving her. You see, I thought I heard racial epithets. That's the kind of stuff he encouraged. So how about that time he mentioned about the Second Amendment? You know, if you elect Hillary, you know, I'm going to put in a Supreme Court justice who doesn't care if people shoot each other. But you put her in there, well, the Second Amendment people, they may do something. That implied threat that they'll go after her and assassinate her. The hypocrisy of these creeps. The violence comes from the head. The fish stinks from the head. And if we're going to go from being naked apes to a more refined species, a more refined human being, we have to deny. We have to censor. We have to look at these creeps that hate everybody, that want to keep the world a filthy sewer. We have to stand together. And then we're going to evolve. Then we're going to become more humane. Then we're going to become worthy of this beautiful planet that we live on. But until that day, until we keep having these creeps ruling over us, these hateful, violent bastards, the world will go on as it is before. And the tragedy is that the young people alive today and their children will have to suffer too.